welcome back to 13C. Every time after we take a trip, be it a trade show, vacation, something like that, and I'll wind up posting some sort of EDC carry for when I'm traveling and on the road, which is slightly different than what I would normally do, either at home or when I travel by my own personal vehicle. And a lot of people, is it hard to fly with guns? What are the steps? And I wind up answering these on a case-by-case basis. I think it's long overdue to actually make a video on this. So this information is going to be pertinent as of July 2019 while I'm filming this. And all this information is going to be wrapped up in the caveat of, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not offering legal advice, I'm not offering specific policies, procedures regarding TSA or any specific airline or anything else. What I will do though is tell you how I fly. Generally we're going to be focusing on Southwest because for the most part I fly Southwest. We're going to be talking about the differences between two of the major airports I fly between, which compare and contrast, which would be Midway in Illinois and Midway Airport in Illinois, and then down in the southern part, Florida in Orlando, and we'll get into this, you're going to actually be surprised at which one is more firearms friendly for transport when you're checking in, but we'll get into that in a second. First, let's start out. It's easy. It's really easy. It doesn't even go in, be it Orlando, it's easy. Allow yourself some extra time when you get to the airport. We're going to walk through these steps step by step. Number one, allow yourself extra time at the airport, especially if it's your first time doing it and you're not sure about the policies and what they have you do at your specific airport. Give yourself at least an extra half an hour to get your firearm checked in. So what's going to happen is when you're at home, you're going to, or wherever, before you actually get into the airport, you need to take your carry firearm, whatever firearms you're going to be checking, be it one or multiple. And in this case, I'm going to be mostly talking about Southwest Airline. Every airline has their own policies, which are just a little different. For the most part, they're very similar. But there can be a little different, like Southwest allows you to carry 11 pounds of ammunition in your checked luggage. Other airlines vary that up or down by a pound or two. There really isn't I think there is a standardized upper limit that you're allowed to that either TSA or FAA sets, but each airline sets theirs just a little bit differently. So we're going to be speaking mostly in general, like I said, and mostly here. I want to make sure I don't confuse anybody on this. And I'll put up the link to Southwest so you can see this information. Maybe we'll put up a picture of it, whatever else, as we're going through this. So make sure your gun is unloaded when you pack it, and it's going to need to be in a hard-sided case. Now, this hard-sided case is going, if you check it separately from other luggage, it will count as a checked bag. What I like to do is I like to take this and put it inside my large suitcase. So what I'll do is, and I'll show you how I normally pack this out. Now this case is actually from a buddy of mine. I was a groomsman, and as part of the groomsman gifts, he gave a really nice hearing protection set. And this is actually what that case is. So it's the one I use. It's a little bulkier, but it allows me to put a handgun in the side here. I have room for my holster. I have 2 spare magazines sitting in here. I also have my carry knife. And then if you pull up some of these foam inserts underneath, you can put ammo. Now obviously this isn't my defensive ammo, this is just a small box of ammo, but you can put that in there as well. Remember, you're limited to 11 pounds on Southwest, for example. And then of course that obviously does count for your checked bag weight, which maximum weight for them without getting a fee is 50 pounds. So, I obviously don't carry that much ammo, but that's something to keep in mind. I like to put my carry knife in here because rather than just stuff it loose in the suitcase, at least it's in here, it's locked up. When I get to where I'm going, I pop it, everything's in here and ready to go. So if you have ammunition, it cannot be in the gun. So if you have loaded mags are fine. You can look in the information. Any ammunition you carry must either be in its original packaging or be securely packaged in something that's designed to hold ammunition. So in this case, this is. Now, when you're carrying loaded magazines, can't be in the gun. The gun has to be unloaded. And in this case, you're in a case like this with the firearm in it, cutouts for the magazines. Well, look at that. I got 2 cutouts right here. That's awesome. So there you go. And this is, for those who want to know, I've got night vision sights on here. This is a Smith & Wesson shield Bravo concealment here, torsion. And then this is actually a cool knife. I'll put a link down below. This is an assisted opener, and I always make sure that whatever knife I'm going to be bringing is legal in whatever jurisdictions I'm going through. And the thing that I love about this is a Timberline. This is like a $20 knife. I'll put the link down below to an Amazon link, which I am an affiliate, by the way. If you guys click my links to the Amazon stores, I'll actually get credit for that, which is cool. So it's a great way you can support the channel without costing you anything. So this has really good grips, and I've been using these for probably about 5 years. They're cheap, they hold up really well, and if it's lost, if it gets stolen, if I go to somewhere and it gets confiscated or whatever, or it doesn't matter, it's 20 bucks. I'm not saying 20 bucks doesn't matter, but it's a lot better than losing my daily carry, which is an Emerson Karambit. I don't want that to get lost. Anyway, so that's the case. You're gonna want to make sure it's unloaded, and then for the case that the firearm has, you want non-TSA approved locks that the firearm is in. So, and you can put multiple firearms in a case, it's perfectly fine. So if you notice, there's no key on the bottom. So this is a non-TSA approved lock. Obviously somebody could easily break this if they wanted to, but you have to have the combination. Their keys and whatnot will not work on this. If you're gonna take this case and put it inside your regular suitcase, the regular suitcase still has to have approved TSA locks, meaning they have to be able to get into the suitcase. Not this case, but the outer suitcase if you're putting this in an outer suitcase. Keep that in mind. Don't use the same non-combo locks or whatever, because technically, according to the law, you are supposed to be the only one who has the combination to this when you're traveling, and if they need to open it, they are supposed to request your presence and have you either unlock it with a key or with the combination. Allegedly, because, and we'll get into this, one of my experiences in Orlando, it doesn't always happen because TSA agents do not know the law, they do not know the regulations as a whole. There are good TSA agents, there's bad ones, and there's a bunch that just have no idea other than whatever their immediate supervisor tells them, who really don't know anyway, and Orlando was notorious for that. Midway was actually perfect. I mean, I've never had a negative experience at Midway, ever, which is the main airport that I fly out of, just because destination-wise in Southwest it's so cheap to fly out of Midwest. Anyway, that's our lock situation. So you get to the airport, you go to your check-in counter. In this case, we'll talk about, let's say, going into Midway. Going to Midway, you get to the ticketing counter, go to Southwest, go to the manual check-in line, get up to the agent, and when you get up to the agent, loudly declare, "I have a..." No, don't do that. When you hand them your ID and your ticket, politely inform your ticketing agent that you would like to declare a firearm. That's exactly how you say, "I'd like to declare a firearm." They'll say, "Okay, is it, and which bag is it in?" Generally is the question I get, because I normally check 2 bags. I'll say it's in this one. They say, "Okay, would you mind opening the bag?" They open the bag, they see the case inside of it, and then they fill out a form. Now the form ultimately gets taped to the outside of the container on this, because it's going inside another bag. If this was a standalone container, this would go inside the packaging, because there's nothing on the outside of your outer container that's going to indicate that there's a firearm inside of it. So this is a firearms declaration card. I've removed some pertinent information here so I'm not inadvertently showing everybody my home address. And Southwest firearms declaration, you put your name, you put your flight number, you put your address, where you're departing from, where you're going to. The ticketing agent puts a number on here, and then the date. On the back is firearms declaration. You sign the bottom of this stating that your firearm is free of ammunition. Loaded magazines or clips are packaged to prevent accidental activation of the primer. Loaded magazines are okay. I hear this is a huge myth I hear all the time. You can fly with loaded magazines, they just cannot be in the gun. And if you're flying with loaded magazines, they need to be properly secured. Properly is up to you, but one of the ways that they say on here to be properly secured is in slots, cutout slots designed to hold magazines. Boom, easy. So if you're flying with a chest rig, you can technically put loaded magazines in a chest rig. Don't really fly with a chest rig, but if you did, you could. All right, so they fill that out, put it on the thing, they do the rest of your check-in, and from there, the bag and you are going to go somewhere. Now in Midway, you walk down the end of the Southwest counter, and on the end, there's a TSA agent with a conveyor belt, x-ray machine, and the little bomb sniffing thing. You walk over there, walk up the TSA agent. At the gate, your check-in agent will ask you if the gun is unloaded. And of course it should be, and your answer will be yes. I've never had them ask me to show them or even open this case at the gate. They see it's locked, they're fine, they don't care. They ask, is it loaded? Nope, good to go. Go down to the next processing area, I guess, for checking a firearm. Go down there, he'll be like, okay, cool. You know, he'll have you open this is gonna be in a suitcase. So he'll have me open the suitcase, and then, or at least unzip the suitcase. He actually opens it, but they want you to unzip it. That's just how they do it there. You unzip it, he lifts it open, he takes a little swab, and he swabs all over the inside of the suitcase. He'll swab the outside of this box as well. He'll put it in the machine, it'll come back negative, and then they'll wrap it up. He'll put, there is one indicator on the tag that can actually tell you that there's a thing in it, theoretically, because they put a label on there, a small little sticker that says TSA checked, TSA approved. I forget what it is. It's a little sticker that goes on your actual flight sticker luggage tag. It's stuck on the bag. Now, of course, obviously, any bag that gets checked gets the same one, so if you were to grab one of those bags, it may or may not have a gun in it. But that's how that goes. And then they say thank you, and you're on your way to your flight, and your bag disappears into the checked area, and you pick it up later when you get it. It goes to the regular baggage pickup. You pick up your luggage with everything else, and you're good to go. Now, on the other side of it, coming back, and I want to specifically point out Orlando here because I've had horrendous experiences there. It's the very last trip we took, just very recently, was a pleasant turnaround. For 2 years, I hated flying out of Orlando with the gun MCO. It was horrible. The agents at the desk for Southwest were always awesome. I've flown other airlines out of there as well. They were always great. No issues with any of the airline employees. But the TSA agents from there, when you check in upstairs, they have to take you downstairs in basically the basement where there's this little secure room. They send your suitcase in there, and then they have you walk around and look through a little window on a door. And you stand there while they take your bag, and they do their little scanning and checking, and it's almost like a toss. It was horrible. They manhandle your bag. They ruffle all your stuff up that's in the bag. It was pretty bad, and it's happened multiple occasions when I was down there. Different agents. Actually tried to file a complaint once, and yeah, that didn't go anywhere. That's how bad it was. I normally don't complain. Whatever, you're going to check the bag, you're going to check the bag, but these guys were just douches. Anyway, this most recent trip was different. Went down to that same room. I was expecting the same charade, if you will, but they took the bag. They did swab the outside. They never opened it, and then they took the bag through this new machine that was in there. It's like a big, almost like an MRI machine or something. They sent it through there. It came out the other side. They gave me the thumbs up, and it was quick. It was really quick. When it went through there. They gave me the thumbs up, and they threw it, they put the sticker on it, they tossed it on the belt, and I was off and on my way. So that was actually a very pleasant experience this most recent trip. They changed it up, and I really liked that compared to the previous ones. It was not the normal showboat thing where they give you the evil eye and everything else. So I don't know, maybe one of my complaints actually went through. I never heard anything other than everything went according to policy. Sure. Anyway, so that's where you are there. When you same thing when I got to Midway, pick up your luggage just like you normally do, and you're on your way. I think that mostly covers everything. We talked about it's got to be in a hard locked case, non-TSA approved locks for that hard case. If you're putting in another package, make sure your TSA locks are TSA approved for whatever outer suitcase or bag you're going to have. Ammunition, you got to check your weight limits on that, 11 pounds. Generally, I fly with 2 mags and a small box of ammo, original packaged ammo that's never even been opened. I just put it in the bottom there, and then that makes it easy. There are rules for primers and percussion caps and other things like that. Paintball guns have different rules as well because of air cylinders and stuff. So this is just focusing in on flying with firearms. If you have any more questions, please go ahead and leave them down below. You can also visit us, facebook.com/gun reviews, as well as Instagram. We're at 13C Gun Reviews, and the website, 13cgunreviews.com. We've got some unique swag and patches you won't find anywhere else. You can feel free to visit our store as well. Thanks again, everybody. We really appreciate it. And if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them down below in the comments or wherever else. Subscribe if you haven't already. We'd really appreciate it, and give a like, thumbs up. And if you're thinking about picking up one of those knives or anything else from an Amazon store and you want to help support us, click one of those affiliate links. We appreciate it. It won't cost you anything, and it's an easy way to help us out. Thanks again. Talk soon.